Greetings, beloveds, and welcome to Poets Corner here on the campus of Scarrett Bennett Center in the historic Bennett Hall Social Room. If you haven't visited, you should come. It's a beautiful place to be and explore and experience. Connect with our front desk about a tour. But however you come, we simply ask that you join us with a heart that is generous and filled with joy. And speaking of joy, today we have with us JoyPoet VeerajaR, and she comes to us with quite the background and the history, biomedical scientist turned poet. And in fact, if you want to really get to know her more, we're going to hear little things here or there today, but we record a podcast episode. So go ahead and connect with our podcast at onlinelearning.scarrettbennett.org. And without further ado, I'm not going to put it off anymore. Welcome to Poets Corner here at Scarrett Bennett, and welcome VeerajaR.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda, and thanks to Scarrett Bennett Center for this program and for you, for all that you do. I know organizing is not easy, and you do a lot of programs. So thank you.
Thank you
for having me here, and thank you all for coming too. Yeah, I listen to the podcast myself.
It's funny listening to your own voice, but then you kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay. I think she has said enough about me, so I'm going to jump straight into poems, and I'm sure you can see I have two books: Joy of Being and Beyond Loving, poetry for honoring every mother. And so we'll start with a prayer poem I wrote, I think around 2009. And I think people loved it. And so I used to have printouts like this and give away. And the picture is actually of Falls Creek Falls. We stayed there for a week, and me and my husband, and he woke me up with a loud, exclamation. Oh, you should see. I just got up and he opened the window, and the sun was out, and it was nice, beautiful morning. So I went out in my night dress and we were taking pictures. So this is one of the pictures, and the fog was over the lake, like the old classical ladies dancing in their big puffy dresses. That was beautiful. So this poem came about after that. A good morning in God. As sun gleams its rays and dawn reveals the new day, good morning, I want to say to all, have a good day. In God every day, I meant to say. Foremost, I submit to you my day. Help me keep all evil at bay. God, ground me in you, I pray. Your peace in me you display. For your will every day, use me, you may. Good morning, I want to say to all come across my way. With smile radiating laser ray, healing hurts and hatred nay. Have a God's day, I yearn to say. With every brush stroke, a rainbow I want displayed over the deserts and war struck, removing all pain and dismay. God's peace today and always, I want to say. And I think this is a good prayer every day, I think. Um, and yeah, I also paint, so that's why, I wish I can paint away all the dismay. So Linda was asking me about what inspires and how I write and all that. So I'm going to kind of maybe go about it in that way. So it's inspirations everywhere, where you are, what you do, it's always there. So you never know when it will come. And Tennessee is a very beautiful place. We were at some outlook. I don't know whether you can see, hilly area and very nice. There's a lot of nature and parks and wild wilderness in Tennessee. A lot of waterfalls and rivers. So anyway, so this is a poem, outburst of feeling the joy of being here in Tennessee and all what it brought me. This titled, I Call Home. Soothing sounds of falling waters, calming souls to call in prayer. Scenic beauty of rolling hills stretch for miles and miles, as far as eyes can see. My home state called Tennessee. I thank God for the sprawling nature, beauty so perfect as a picture, and God-fearing people throughout the land so ample, with writers and artists so awesome. In Tennessee, I came home. And I've been a scientist, but Tennessee made me a poet. And I think where I grew up also has a big role in that. Ceylon, if you have if you are a tea lover, you would have heard of Ceylon tea, and that's where I am from. It used to be called Serendip, and the root word for the favorite word, serendipity, is serendip. So here's a poem. I was drinking tea while my husband was driving. It was Ceylon tea, of course, and this poem rolled in. So luckily I had a paper and started writing. This was also maybe around 2008. It hasn't been published, but one of my favorites, and also favorites of many fellow poets who were listening and encouraging me early on. Here it is. With a cup of tea, sitting leisurely on the porch, sipping away a brimming tea, shifting into bliss afar, sensing the aroma exotic, seeping through my soul, slowly lifting me up. Soothing notes of thousands songbird calls and sweet scents of honeysuckles sweeping through my senses, softly lulling me into a swirl of acute awareness. So far away and tiny specks, all big troubles seem to shrink without a shrink, and renewed soul beamed with joy, sipping away a cup of tea. Thank you. And the next poem I want to read, like I have said, local poets and writers. Tennessee is full of them, very a lot of artists and poets and writers, no dearth for them. So I'm glad they pulled me in, yeah, brought out the poet in me. So this is the first book, Joy of Being, Poetry for the Heart, Mind, and Spirit. So I have sections here like in prayer, in awe, in faith, and all. And this one I wrote, this is also one of the early poems. I wrote for the critique group that I started attending in Franklin. And the leader was Sally D. And she always referred to this poem. And this is for my mom. Up on a pedestal. Please let me, oh God, to put my mother up on a pedestal, made up of purest gold, adorn it with precious gems of Ceylon, and poetry garlands strewn on pouring love from my heart. Please grant me, O God, poetic words melting like prime milk chocolate, solid as pure gold, glistening smooth, picking her out of all angels, placing in her womb, you blessed poor soul like me forever. So she told me, don't change a word in this. It's beautiful. So this one is for Sally, my mentor. She was leaving to California in 2015 to stay with her daughter. So this poem came about because and I read it to her before she left over the phone. A shawl to my roomie's shams. Everything that is good and kind, I am wishing for you. When this shawl wraps around you, keep you warm and cozy, remember me with a smile on your face. That distance and years yet to pass between us will not have the power to dampen the flame you've fostered with wisdom, mentoring. The love and respect I have for you shall follow you among the stars in the dark sky, as white cloud on a foggy day. Remember me with a smile on your face. The kind cheering with which you motivated me, kindling the flame of aspiration. Inspired by my mother, now dances freely in rhythm, prances joyfully in rhyme, glow reaching far and out, touching the depths of hearts, moving souls, stirring minds. They say and call me a poet. With a smile on your face, remember me. And I bow to my mother for molding me to the core like gold. And to you, my mentor, for freeing me from doubt like a breeze, to trust and let the words flow, filling the empty spaces from my soul like the divine intervention of shams, freed relentless mystic verses out of Rumi. The flame you roused in my soul will dance unhindered when this shawl wraps around you. Remember me with a smile on your face, keeping you warm and cozy. So I gave her a shawl at the farewell party. And in our culture, Eastern culture, we honor people with the shawl. So that's yeah, and this whole book was, as I say, I'm a serendipitous poet. It's just lucky accident, I would say. But my children say I'm still like a child. I think if you have to really observe the children, little ones, how everything is a surprise and joyful for them. So, we have to be like that. And because life is joyful and it is a miracle. So this poem, you have a butterfly here. So I was like a paparazzi, chasing them, taking pictures of birds, butterflies, and all that. This is from my porch. So this poem is in awe. Ah, cardinal red and cawing blue jay, golden finch to green parrots, brush strokes of joy from Almighty's palette. Ah, fluttering butterflies, spotted and striped, flowing designs from God's kaleidoscope. So it's in wonder. So when I see a butterfly, and also every day is a new day. So and if we just give 5 minutes to just be out and sit by ourselves, just that's how I feel. So this is promise. Brightest sun to light the days, why mighty dark of night moon rays? Rhythms of night, days to ears, how rhythm of heart beat for ears. Creation is a wonder, and every life is so. And we should all be less rushed and more relaxed. This one is Share One Earth, because we are all sharing one earth. So we should all remember that. We are all the same deep down in the heart. We all seek happiness but go different routes. We yearn for peace, wish for heavenly bliss. Yet we fight each other in endless, pointless battles. Green and blessed earth, one. Together that we share, land that is divided, but joined by the oceans one. One moon for the night for all, one sun to share with all. Help raise one another, all nations, not just us. This book is poetry for the heart, mind, and soul. So poems are like that, kind of. 1,000 Names, this one is titled. You are my brother, my sister, yellow, brown, black, or white. We are all one. When you succeed, we too are lifted. For we are all children of God. 1,000 names we call him, Almighty is one. Hallowed heaven will come down, knocking at our door. When we understand God is one and only, by 1,000 names we may call him. No, he is one, the Almighty, creator of us all. A divine play. I see a playful child with a kaleidoscope, laughing nebulous as she turns it, admiring the essence of intricacy, spurring marvelous living designs, each color intertwined anew, every moment in creation. I see a desolate child with a kaleidoscope, crying rains as he watches, flooding the evolving designs, sadly spooling in violence and ego, every color piercing another, each moment in destruction. I see a hopeful child with a kaleidoscope, smiling rainbows as he reigns, forgiving his prized design, mercy flowing over mankind, reviving each heart to love another, every beat to peace pronounce. Um, I'm kind of trying to read about creation and more, that we should appreciate more of, us and everyone, and should strive for peace. And this one is from Beyond Loving, Poetry Honoring Every Mother. And this one also, I have sections, Miracle and Mercy, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Monumental Memories and Moments. So this is from Mother Earth. The Fair One. Dear Mother Earth, do you cry incessant in such sadness that your children scattered far and wide forgot who begot them and kill each other with such hatred? Your tears flood rampant. By vying for only the treasures you hold in your bosom, we wage wars for power, often in the name of the Almighty, names of God and blessed earth, feeling entitled to conquer the grace, raising walls of color and race, boundaries encroaching, changing terrains. Do we make you gasp and open sinkholes by denying each other basic humanity? Children given reasons to hate and bully, wisdom of peace gunned down mundanely. Mothers and children ripped apart by flawed egoistic reasoning, borders, so-called civilized nations trampling, old covenants bound to protect nature. In the depth of your womb, we leave nothing but raging fire to engulf. And it's always in any conflict, always the children is what comes to mind, because they are our future, who they are, wherever they are. And this poem, titled "Lost," the Lost, this was written with stirred mind after the Sandy Hook incident shooting. The lost. What makes a heart so very lost that blinds wide eyes so shut? Of that angelic little faces so pure might only levitate, but shot no more. Then to blame we too failed to see the lost heart that failed to feel. Averted eyes were ours too, when diverted rage get innocence slain. What blinds our eyes so shut that we fail to feel for hearts so lost? What makes a heart so very lost that blinds wide eyes so shut? Because the perpetrator was also almost a child, most of the time. So we need to pay more attention to every child. Okay, this poem came about when I visited an orphanage in Ceylon, Mother Teresa's, and I was so touched. The children, so wide-eyed and intelligent, and they were well taken care of, and they had a choice. They're like, oh, I don't like this curry. They push some away, and very lively. And so this came about after visiting the orphanage. Tender hope. Barely toddlers, yet haven't got a real parent. But their little world is filled with selfless nuns and caring volunteers, solely hung on humanity, charity, so vulnerable and tender, hearts tugging little faces of winning swift smiles. Some still sigh, shedding tears, yearning for the fading faces, the voices that rock them to sleep, not there anymore. The lost souls, with the hearts full of tender hope, their bright, beaming eyes, wisdom beyond their age, bring joy and tears all at once. They thread their tiny fingers naturally like tender vines, feeling and checking the strength of the arbor. I know I fall short in measure, though I wish I could care for them all. Yeah. So I was talking about conflicts. Yeah, in any war, there are soldiers on either side, and This is an anthology filtered through time. This was put together by Dr. Sally, celebrating the 150th year of Civil War. Marching orders. A soldier I am, marching on to capture that hill, to put up our flag, to remove all resistance, red and vivid blood shed for the land. I shed no tears for the hearts that stopped beating, for that will be me in a beat if I stop to think with my heart. A soldier I am, marching on, dead beat. And so this is, I have been writing haiku maybe for the past 10 years. And this is from the Haiku Society of America anthology. It's 2020. So 2020 is our, big, the world was different. So this is a poem about that time. Wind chimes softly as a fed serpent resting. Virus is awake. Wind chimes softly as a fed serpent resting. Virus is awake. So and I have started try to write some things, stories from the past, which I find is harder than expressing the joys and what you feel or the nature. But this is one of them. Something that from my childhood, a story. Learn from the ants. Learn from the ants the lesson of busyness, dear. Wrote the little brownie's coach in my year-end autograph book. Though I topped the grade in all subject matters, I still seemed to cause a little concern that I could not be rushed into anything, always taking my time. When sent on errands to fetch this or that, I get lost in daydreams, lifted in awe of birds and butterflies. My skipping feet skew their tracks amidst all the buzz and the fuss people make about time. I knew my sense of time is askew. So what? I asked my mother. I am not an ant, though I do love to watch them, following in their trail intently, carrying a crumb or a grain, much bigger than themselves. Exactly. my mother replied, witty twinkle in her starry eyes, defending the ant's honor and mine. Perseverance is the key lesson we all humans need to learn from the ants. Then and there, she set my life motto, perseverance. So this one is Who's Who in American Poetry Anthology. 2023. Like I said, I grew up in Ceylon, and I was inspired by confident, educated women in our family and an abundance of lead professionals, professional women serving the community, as well as the world's first lady prime minister ruling the country. I think we still have a long way to do that, and so that we should encourage our daughters more to be more confident. Let them daughters fly. Enough keeping women in shadows to be submissive and just yield. Be gentle like flowers beside the field. Oh, great man, what if no mothers told? Let them daughters be confident. Climb Olympus, Mons, and more. Be bold with a fist of earth's core. Let's celebrate if they are unique and different. Let our daughters dance in delight, shout out in moments of joy or anger. Share their thoughts fearless in fight. Princesses wait, not queens with power. Show them beauty in their strength. Let them free to fly up higher. Yeah, thanks.
It's like double listening over here because I pulled up the last one. Like, hold up a second. I need that word one more time. Thank you so much for sharing. And particularly, I just wrote, I need my daughters to hear this one.
Oh, thank you.
So, yes, thank you for bringing your gifts and your graces to us here at Scarrett Bennett and online, in person. Thank you, folks that are here today in person. Y'all, this is a beautiful place to connect and to basically live out the mission of Scarrett Bennett Center, which is to create space where individuals and groups engage each other to achieve a more just world. And we do that through a lot of different values that we hold. Some of those include that of women's empowerment, racial justice, spiritual practices and sacred rituals, empowering the lay folks of the church, our church folks out there, all right? And pretty much living into those things that make for a truly just and holistic world. And poetry, my Lord, yes, has been one of those ways to engage with one another and to share parts of ourselves. It really takes that vulnerability, that connection, that community. And in fact, we're building some opportunities for you out there who would like to connect and want to continue and not wait a whole nother month to engage in Poets Corner. And not only the events happening on our campus, which there are a handful that I may mention in a second, but online. There's the podcast. We have one with an interview with VeerajaR, JoyPoet. And we've got some more coming out and some that are already up. we also have some opportunity on that same site to connect and build community and have conversations. So let's talk poetry. Tell us what stood out for you. Go back and watch this again on YouTube. And let's just continue connection online at onlinelearning.scarrettbennett.org. And with that, Scarrett Bennett being what Scarrett is, if you're looking for other things to come to, yes, we'll be doing this again next month, and we will be in the same space next month. And I'm going to go ahead and claim this as an open mic opportunity, though I may have a feature. If you would like to share at Poets Corner, come on down, check on the website. I'll make sure I update the details and information on our events calendar. And if you just want to come hang out, we have food here. One of my favorite things to share about is lunches Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11 to 1 on campus. Best food ever. I don't even check what the menu is myself anymore. I just show up. But if you would like to engage in conversation and connection, we can do that at the table, right? We can talk poetry at the table. We can talk justice at the table. Or we can just eat and enjoy one another's presence. So however you choose to bring yourself in virtual or in-person space, may you do so fully in your presence, in your giving, volunteerism, performing, or otherwise, and do so with a heart that is generous and filled with joy. So thank you, Joy Poet.
Thank you.
And go in peace. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.